to the State of the City address. I'm Pryor. I'm the chairman of the Commercial Real Estate Network, commonly known as CREN, and I will frequently refer to it as CREN, so Commercial Real Estate Network. We are proud to be the presenting sponsor for this event now 16 years in a row. It's nice to see everyone this year. I know last year was kind of an abbreviated event. We weren't able to see each other's smiling faces. We weren't able to enjoy a nice meal. So glad to know that we're probably on the other side of things. If you aren't familiar with CREN, I'll share with you that it's a group of real estate professionals who assist their clients' commercial real estate sale and leasing needs. The mission of CREN is to promote the cooperative transactions of commercial real estate through professional conduct, education, information, networking, and the open exchange of timely and accurate information. This group is passionate about the success of Springfield. They know everything about the history of business in Springfield. CREN would not be possible without its original group of commercial brokers with so much experience and knowledge. I personally value them very much and have leaned on them many times when I had problems. They gave me advice, different perspectives and situations. Indeed, it is a pleasure to work with them as they've navigated the transaction process numerous times and are familiar with different types of challenges and pitfalls that can occur. Relocating or acquiring commercial space is complex, time-consuming, and an infrequent one for most businesses. However, hiring a CREN member can provide access to an experienced advocate who will work on your behalf. On behalf of CREN, I would like to thank our business partners that have placed their trust in us over the years. We have evolved greatly in terms of new members, which is exciting as it reflects a genuine interest in the development of business in Springfield. I'd like to take a moment at this time to recognize our premier sponsors, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Comcast, US Bank, as well as our partner sponsors, Memorial Health and the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum, and of course to all our table sponsors that are listed in the program. Further, I'd like to acknowledge and take a moment to thank our partners and elected officials who were able to join us today. Please hold your applause until all names are called. Those in attendance include Jim Langfelder, Mayor of Springfield, Tim Butler, the State Representative of the 87th District, Aaron Conley, Ward 8 Alderwoman, City of Springfield, Kristen DeCenso, Ward 6 Alderwoman, City of Springfield, Sean Gregory, Ward 2 Alderman, City of Springfield, Frank Lesko, City Clerk, City of Springfield, Michael Lopez, Mayor of Jerome, Joe McMiniman, Ward 7 Alderman, City of Springfield, Lakeisha Purchase, Ward 5 Alderwoman, City of Springfield, Sue Shearer, State Representative of the 96th District, Senator Doris Turner of the 48th District, Roy Williams Jr., the Ward 3 Alderman, City of Springfield, and to all the city officials in attendance, if you would. For those of you that I didn't mention who are in attendance, I apologize, but we appreciate your support and everything you provide. Now, if you would, please join me and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Their slide. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Thank you. I'd now like to introduce the Reverend Christian Choi from Westminster Presbyterian Church to provide the invocation. Reverend Choi.
Thank you, Blake. Friends, would you join me in a prayer? Holy and loving God, we thank you for this opportunity to call people for the annual State of the City Luncheon. We thank you for each person who is here today. You have blessed us with supportive people who seek the welfare of your people and your city. We thank you for your guidance through the last fiscal year, and we ask that you will lead us as the city journeys through the beginning chapters of a new fiscal year to promote your graciousness, hospitality of love, and to serve and care for one another. In the midst of our blessings during these challenging times, remind us and help us to display the heart of Springfield by pouring out generosity to others, especially to those who are struggling in their difficulties. We ask for your blessings upon each leaders of our community, may it be in a political office, in our businesses, or in the community. May our collective effort bring a wholesome outlook for the year to come, to be an example of how a city can come together to bring hope, especially as the capital city of the state of Illinois. As we take this food, we thank you for the provisions and nourishment. May we be strengthened to continue our good work for the city, for the communities, and for one another for months and years to come. Amen. Amen. Friends, enjoy your meal.
I know some of you are just now getting your food, but please continue eating while we start the remarks. The mayor just told me he has a long speech today, so I want to make sure we get it in time. Good afternoon and welcome to the 2022 State of the City Luncheon. My name is Mike Murphy. I'm President, CEO of the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce. I'd first like to start off by thanking our presenting sponsor, Commercial Real Estate Network, our premier sponsors, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Comcast, U.S. Bank, along with our partner sponsors, Memorial Health and Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum. I'm pleased that the Chamber can provide Mayor Jim Langfelder an opportunity to make his State of the City address. I also appreciate the work that the Mayor's office has done with the Chamber. In my short time with the Chamber, I've been involved with a high-speed broadband group that's ensuring that everybody in the city of Springfield will have access to high-speed internet that's affordable. I've also been appointed to the Convention and Visitors Bureau Advisory Board. The Chamber, along with other neighborhood stakeholders, has been in conversations with the mayor in regards to the Y Block. And most importantly, the Chamber hosts monthly meetings of the Development Policy Council. This council is made up of city officials, county officials, local developers, the Springfield Sangamon Growth Alliance, and the Chamber. Their mission is quite simple: to figure out a way to streamline the zoning and permitting process that we have in Springfield that honestly sometimes can be cumbersome. We need to have this Policy Council continue to do this work to make sure that all the great projects that we have waiting to come to Springfield have an opportunity to be completed. We have many members of the Policy Council here today, and I would like to thank them for their efforts. They do a lot of hard work. Advocacy is one of the core functions of the Chamber. That's why having events like the State of the City, the elected officials event are very important so we can cultivate relationships with our city, county, state, and federal elected officials. We need to ensure that they understand our policy agenda and embrace it when possible. I would like to thank all of our local elected officials on their efforts to keep Springfield and Sangamon County moving forward. If you're interested in learning more about our board-adopted policy agenda, please visit our website where it is posted along with some of our advocacy efforts and also a link to all of our local elected officials. Once again, I'm very excited to hear what the mayor has to say, and I appreciate everyone being here today. But right now, I'm going to turn it over back to Blake Pryor, Chair of the Commercial Real Estate Network. Thank you very much for being here.
Thanks, Mike. You've got such a long list of accomplishments, Mayor, that they have to write it all down for me. Sorry about that. To that, it is my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, the main event. A lifelong resident of Springfield, Jim Langfelder took office as mayor in May 2015 and was re-elected in April of 2019. Since becoming mayor, he extended Springfield's downtown TIF district for the second time since its creation, a first double extension in the state of Illinois. This extension has allowed continued growth in Springfield's downtown, including providing funding for the Illinois Realtors Bicentennial Plaza, installation of new underground storm sewer along the Y Block, making the area development ready, funding for the Kidseum of Health and Science, the new downtown Enos Park YMCA, and of course, the center at 501 where the Chamber of Commerce is. Mayor Langfelder's focus has also been on the Springfield Rail Improvements Project, moving trains from the 3rd Street to the 10th Street corridor by 2025. His administration partnered with IDOT and Sangamon County for a high-speed railroad consolidation agreement, which led to obtaining a second federal Tiger grant for this corridor. The Ash Street underpass will be completed this fall, and then the construction of the Laurel Street underpass will begin. Other accomplished for Mayor Langfelder's first term included the creation of the city's 2037 comprehensive plan, achieving a Class 1 fire department rating for the Springfield Fire Department, stabilizing CWLP finances, ensuring the addition of a homeless outreach officer within the Springfield Police Department, the completion of the 11th Street and Stanford Avenue extensions, the installation of free downtown Wi-Fi, and rededication of the 1908 race riot markers. Mayor Langfelder has been married to his wife, Billy, for 30 years, and they have 3 children. Please welcome Jim Langfelder.
Thanks, Blake, and good afternoon, everybody. And really the applause goes to my wife because she's put up with me for 30 years, and she doesn't like when I say that, but really, I have her read my speech, and then she reads it, and tears are in her eyes, and then she says, well, I know why you're gone all the time. But really, that's a commitment that all of us have. All elected officials, especially during these challenging times. So I would ask that all the federal, state, and local officials stand up and be recognized, because sometimes it is a thankless job, especially in this divisive atmosphere we're in. What we try to do, especially in the city of Springfield, is pull us all together. So if you'd stand up and be recognized, we'd really appreciate it. So thank you to the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce, the Commercial Real Estate Network, and today's sponsors, and all of you here today. I'd also like to formally welcome and congratulate the Chamber's newest president and CEO, Mike Murphy. I was hoping we'd have some real fun today at his first State of the City address, and as president, have a pancake eating contest. Yep, each table could have a stack of Mike's world-renowned giant pancakes that he made famous at Charlie Parker's, but there's always next year, Mike. On a serious note, I appreciate your partnership and look forward to continuing our efforts in moving Springfield forward together. I would also like to acknowledge our city elected leaders who are with us today. And I'd ask them to stand to be recognized because of all the work you do day in and day out. All our city council members and the clerk and everybody else, if you would stand to be recognized, we'd appreciate it. Being one of 13 elected city officials and coming from a family of 13, I can truly say we are like a family. At times, not always agreeing, discussing issues passionately, and working together for what we believe is in the best interest of those we serve. I'd also like to introduce my directors, chiefs, and other city personnel here today. I'd ask them to stand up and be recognized, and I think CWLP and Convention Visitors Bureau has a table as well. So if you'd stand up, we'd appreciate it. I'd really like to thank Chief Scarlett. He's, first year coming here. This is just selected a few months back, but we appreciate your service and all you do each and every day in running our department and leading it during these challenging times. We are all here to serve you. That's why I always ask my employees to stand up. So it goes back to our most famous president, Abraham Lincoln, who set the standard for all of us. Regardless of party affiliation, whether we are federal, state, or at the local level, we should all strive to live up to the commitment to a government of the people, by the people, for the people. Doing so helps us overcome our toughest challenges by working together to provide a stronger and brighter future together. We have faced unprecedented challenges, yet Springfield has shown itself to be adaptable, strong, and resilient. As I speak with you today, we face yet another challenging time. I first became mayor in 2015 and spoke at my first State of the City with great optimism. I knew there were challenges to righting the city's CWLP financial ship, but I was confident in our administration, our city council, and most importantly, our public, in doing the right thing and making the appropriate changes. Then in 2016 and 2017, we faced 2 years without a state budget, giving our community as a capital city great apprehension and created serious challenges for our citizens, our medical community, and local businesses. Together, we met those challenges and turned that corner with our strong local first commitment, our second to none medical community leading the capital development front that continues today, and our most transformational community project in the last 50 years, railroad relocation, continued to stay on track. I stood here again in 2019 at the State of the City with great optimism. We were looking forward to 2020 as the most successful year the city would have in quite some time. With the highest convention season on the books, a strong corporate fund balance, combined with the state's first capital bill in over a decade, the capital city's future was bright. Now we all know what happened in 2020 and 2021 did for our world, our nation, our state, and our city. However, thanks to our greatest asset, our people, Springfield's economic engine kept working. From January 2020 to April 2022, there were 737 commercial building permits issued with a cumulative valuation of over $196 million and approximately 10,900 residential permits issued with a combined valuation of over $148 million. The city also did 27 miles of overlay, over 80 miles of road patching, sealant, and repair work. This does not include the tens of millions of dollars in other infrastructure projects like Chatham Road, Walnut Street Road, Hilltop Road, and Bike Trail, along with the 4 new railroad underpasses. We felt hopeful and optimistic entering into 2022, but now we look out and see rising gas prices, increased grocery bills, continuing concerns about supply chain issues, and workforce shortages. Working together, Springfield has demonstrated that it is adaptable, strong, and resilient. But we are also thoughtful, steady, and inspired. These community strengths ensure a bright and successful future for Springfield. Thanks to our U.S. Senators, Tammy Duckworth and Dick Durbin, the federal government passed the American Rescue Plan Act by 1 vote, which helped all states and all cities. The ARPA brought over $8 billion to the state of Illinois, approximately $100 million to School District 186, $34 million to Sangamon County, and $34 million to the city of Springfield to build a stronger post-pandemic future. This year, the city is leveraging some of its first $17 million in ARPA funds for our 3 new fire stations for the first time in 30 years, along with 7 fire engines, new technology for our police officers to assist them in keeping our community safe, including license plate readers, replacing septic systems with sewers around the lake to protect our main water source, sewer and road modernization projects, and a $2 million small business revolving loan fund with Justine Peterson. Through this partnership with the city, Justine Peterson and area banks provide gap financing, which so far has helped over 65 small businesses cumulative total over $1 million. We can tackle changes easier working together, including our biggest obstacle like Pillsbury. Thanks to Chris Richmond and the Moving Pillsbury Forward group's persistence, the property is in better hands for remediation. The city delivered on its promise to expand the SHA TIF to encompass the Pillsbury area, so $100,000 in funds would be available and matched by the Springfield Sangamon Growth Alliance, the SSGA, for a Phase 2 environmental analysis. This cooperative effort will put us in a position to identify funding resources for mediation and repurposing of the property. And today we do have some interested developers in the area. Thanks to all our taxing body support and Representative Sue Shear and Senator Doris Turner's leadership in legislative efforts, the SHA Pillsbury TIF has been extended for 15 years. That extension will bring in excess of $6 million to help transform what I call and others call the Pride of the North End corridor that includes the new home of the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes at Robin Roberts Stadium. By the way, their opening day is June 4th. Hopefully everybody will be there. And the $90 million Lanphier High School complex redevelopment. Leveraging TIF funds will also help us carry out the city's new whole block housing initiative. This program will assess dilapidated housing in the area to determine which homes can be restored instead of demolishing them, maintaining the fabric and history of our neighborhoods. We'll use community partners, including Bone Training Center, to refurbish the homes while providing multi-craft core job training and home ownership opportunities. Within the same block, we'll also provide financial assistance to qualified homeowners to help fix up their homes. This will be in addition to repurposing or providing infill development of vacant lots within the targeted block. This whole block housing initiative can be replicated in all TIF districts and low, moderate income areas to save our neighborhoods and transform lives generationally. This includes providing reliable and affordable connectivity of high-speed internet. One of my first initiatives when I became mayor was creating a public access to Wi-Fi downtown. This was not only to be used as wayfinding for residents and visitors, but also as a chance to enhance economic development in the area. We installed free public Wi-Fi in 2016 and worked to expand this in 2019 when we completed 2 feasibility studies to expand broadband downtown and underdeveloped sections of the city. Then the pandemic of 2020 required us to pause. COVID-19 showed us the true magnitude of the lack of the internet connection in our capital city. When our grade schools, high schools, and colleges went remote, and employees were told to join Zoom calls, and doctors' visits went virtual, and to receive any type of financial assistance, it had to be done on a computer. The real picture of our community's digital divide was uncovered. In January of this year, the state of Illinois announced that the city would be part of an inaugural broadband technical assistance program called Accelerate Illinois that Mike Murphy was referring to. Springfield is the only city in this first cohort, joined by 5 counties from around the state to work to move each area's broadband efforts forward. For 15 weeks, the committees met and concluded their final group session earlier this month. I'd like to thank the city's Broadband Steering Committee. It was not only the staff of Julia Frevert, Tom Chee, Donna DeVlanis, but also representatives from our community who participate every week on this push for a connected community. Thank you to Mike Murphy, the President and CEO of the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce, Marcus Johnson, President and CEO of the Springfield Urban League, Shelley Heidemann, Executive Director of the Faith Coalition for the Common Good, Alderman Roy Williams, who also was the President of the Faith Coalition for the Common Good, Stacy Grundy, SIU Systems, and Kathy Lee, Principal of Lawrence Adult Center. This team understands that the internet is not a luxury, it is a necessity. And I thank them for their dedication to this initiative and look forward to its progress. Understanding the importance of forward thinking, Karen and Court Kahn's Vinegar Hill Mall, the Bowers Building, and the DeWitt Wycliffe Smith Mansion visionary redevelopment will transform another block in Springfield. We are thankful for their commitment to restoring this remarkable space while addressing the needs of our small business community and startups. The city fully supports their efforts in developing a downtown commercial kitchen incubator to help budding food entrepreneurs, along with developing hospitality training services for our future workforce. The Conn's Hospitality Training Initiative will be expanded and complement Lincoln Land's community college workforce training. And I really thank Dr. Warren, she's here I believe, for her great leadership in really expanding Lincoln Land. If you haven't been out there before, you should take a drive out there. They have an agricultural center that's expanded during the pandemic, and then also Memorial Hospital's partnership with them to create a nursing training facility out there. So we really appreciate your leadership that continues today. We recognize this cannot start too soon with the workforce training because of the Shields Legacy Point Sports Complex breaking ground this year. The city supported the sports complex that is projected to bring 200,000 new visitors to Springfield. This will make Mr. Lincoln's hometown a multi-day stay, creating an economic impact of over $30 million annually. Thanks to Doug Knight family of Knight's Action Park in partnership with the city and the state, the iconic giant slide will remain and be an anchor to the State Fairgrounds Gate 2 Route 66 experience for the foreseeable future. With the expansion of the Route History Museum on Cook Street and Motorheads on Toronto Road, these attractions raise Springfield's Route 66 experience to an extraordinary level. Thanks to the hard work of Scott Dahl and the City of Springfield's Convention and Visitors Bureau team, we are rebounding to 2019 levels a year earlier than anticipated. This June is expected to be a record tourism month, with Springfield being host to the American Truck Historical Society, the Veterans of the Foreign Wars, USA Gymnastics, and AAU Gymnastics. Our Springfield Convention and Visitors Bureau is initiating its inaugural red carpet rollout, collaborating with other city departments, stakeholders, and community volunteers to help spruce up downtown, along with adding new recycling receptacles in anticipation of welcoming visitors and residents to the area this summer. In addition, thanks to the City Council's support, 100 new flower planters and 100 trees will be planted downtown. Thanks to the Levitt Concert Series, the community has embraced activating the North Mansion Block, also known as the Y Block. One such activity was the Illinois Holiday Market as part of DSI's Old Capitol Holiday Walks, which this week was the third place winner of the Shop Small Neighborhood Champion Innovation Contest, sponsored by American Express in partnership with Main Street America. Thanks to Memorial Foundation's Festival of Trees, Sangamon CEO, LRS Ice Skating Rink, and other partners, DSI's Holiday Capitol Walks reach exponential heights. This synergy is all to support downtown and its businesses, which is the center heartbeat of any community. Thanks to Governor Pritzker's commitment to Springfield as a capital city and the state legislature's actions with the Capitol Bill, the Capitol Complex and the Armory are undergoing hundreds of millions of dollars in renovations. Massey & Massey Landscape Design Architects are working on the Capitol Complex and have also been retained by the City of Springfield to create complementary beautification on the North Mansion Block. In partnership with Downtown Springfield, Inc. and other community stakeholders, the city has applied for State of Illinois Main Street grant funds for Phase 1 development of the North Mansion Block. Also underway is DSI's efforts to complete a downtown medical district master plan. In partnership with the Community Foundation for the Land of Lincoln, the SSGA, and the city, this plan will help identify future development. One caveat to this master plan is we continue to commitment of progress as this plan continues to develop. With that approach, the city's dilapidated ramp on 4th and Washington is nearly demolished and will be ready for development in June. Also along the same 4th Street corridor, thanks to UIS and the state of Illinois, we're anticipating the long-awaited greater downtown presence of UIS. This soon-to-be two-way corridor connects up to the state-of-the-art YMCA that was built during the pandemic in partnership with Memorial Health Services and the city. Thanks to the partnership of Memorial Health and Medics First, the old Shop and Save on North Grand is being transformed into an ambulance health services facility. Thanks to the appreciation of history and the entrepreneurial spirit of Tony and Ann Libri, the Benedictine campus is going through a transformation, adaptive reuse. This includes the new expanded home of Destiny's Church and the restoration of the magnificent Ursula Hall. To be a thriving city, we also need to continue to build upon our recreational needs and connectivity to our neighborhoods. That is why we continue to grow and expand our partnership with Springfield Park District on the Teen Empowerment Zone. This area includes Comer Cox and Chamberlain Parks and is anchored by the Salvation Army's Community Center, the Boys and Girls Club, and other potential facilities. With private and public sector investment, this core area will be transformed into a teen empowerment zone. Thanks to an endowment from the H.D. Smith Foundation, this area will also be the new home of a $1 million skate pump track and fitness course. Thanks to City Council support, we will provide financial support for summer programming. In addition, with the state grant, we will be purchasing and repurposing the old UCP buildings into the Teen Opportunity Center within the zone that will be the safe haven for after-school and summer activities that support teenagers and broaden their understanding of their own personal growth in Springfield. Also within the area, Poplar Place redevelopment continues. In partnership with the Related and the Illinois Housing Development Authority, known as IDA, this dilapidated, high-crime housing development will undergo a $40 million transformation, converting duplex housing into single-family housing with open-air recreational areas that will be free from overhead utility lines. As we know, with tighter budgets, home repairs and safety become more challenging. Through $5.4 million in HUD grants, the city will make over 150 homes healthier and safer through lead abatement and material abatement, specifically focusing on housing impacting children and expectant mothers. As we work on our housing initiatives, the city continues to work with our most vulnerable. In 2021 to 2022, this is the first year the city has funded a year-round overnight shelter. In partnership with the Salvation Army and the Heartland Continuum of Care, those experiencing homelessness now have a place to lay their head. The city has also expanded its homeless outreach efforts. Most recently, Shannon Allen joined the city as a community care coordinator, working with our new homeless outreach police officer, Mike Newman, and all our neighborhood police officers. Shannon's office is housed in the Lincoln City's Lincoln Library. This is in addition to another position that the city helped fund in partnership with Memorial Behavioral Health, providing a holistic approach in addressing homelessness. Even though this staffing is new, we are already seeing success, including assistance to a 16-year-old who found her way to Springfield with no identification. The homeless outreach team was able to secure the teen with an ID, reconnect her back to her family who was out of state, and with help aided her back home with her loved ones. Yes, our community has incredible history and legacy that brings visitors here year-round, but it's events like this luncheon today that reminds us what built Springfield and made us what we are today. The individuals and families who have called Springfield their home and are passionate about their work. That's why we say local businesses are the backbone of our community. Springfield is unique because while others look at competing forces, our local businesses look for opportunities of synergy. Another new collaboration will be kicking off next month because a Springfield restaurateur took his hobby and passion for bourbon and began engaging with other local businesses. Now these local owners have created the Capital City Bourbon Journey, 11 destinations for residents and visitors to enjoy and experience Springfield in a new way. This group of local establishments who have dubbed themselves the Springfield Bourbon Ambassadors are to be commended for this partnership of encouraging all to see new places in and around Springfield. Congratulations to the Brick House, Curate, Floyd's, Home Plate, Indigo, Lake Point, Maui's Public House, Slaughterhouse Brewing, Valet, and Westwoods on this new partnership. The Capital City Bourbon Journey Guide will be available for pickup in a few weeks that she doesn't like when I do this, but it was created by Communications Director Julia Frederick, and we appreciate you pulling all those resources and information together. Now, I will give one selfish plug because, you know, it's all about information and connectivity and what each one of us is doing. If you haven't done so, you should sign up for the city's neighborhood news because it gives you great updates, what's happening in our community, and what you can provide feedback to us. And it's a great way to be connected and keep everybody informed and really pull us together. There's a lot happening in our great city, and as I said in the beginning, the state of our city is adaptable, strong, and resilient. Springfield's commitment to a strong and successful future is shown by Springfield Clinic's continued multi-million-dollar expansion work thanks to the work and leadership of Ray Williams and Tom Fitch, who's with us today. So thank you, Tom, for all you've done. And speaking of what Mike had said about, regulations and everything else, Tom's called us a time or two, and we've had to have a sit down to iron things out, but it all worked out in the end, and that's what it's all about. Whatever you do, don't keep things bottled up. Share your ideas. You know, I came from a family of 13. I'm big on criticism. People ask me all the time, how do you work it? You know, the city council, people yelling at you or whatever. I said, that's what it's about. You don't take it personally. You're trying to address an issue. That's how I approach life. It's all about addressing issues to make our community better. So thank you, Tom, for moving Springfield Clinic forward. Not to mention Springfield Electric reinvesting $6 million on a project that was impacted by the rail. The $50 million for the Springfield-Sangamon County Transportation Hub. Christian Horizon's $70 million independent living senior project. The $20 million Pinewood Apartments remodel. Helping Hands $6 million supportive housing project. CAP 1908 Eastside Business Incubator. CWLP's move to electric charging stations, and the $30 million groundbreaking carbon capture initiative that will open up global markets in partnership with the U of I and the state of Illinois. The city's continued partnership with Harvard, Bloomberg, and the list goes on and on. Whether we like it or not, there are lingering effects of the COVID pandemic. Yet we want to live up to Business Insider's designation of Springfield being the #1 place to live post-pandemic. So I'm going to ask and finish my State of the City speech with 5 reminders. Number 1, with state workers working remotely from time to time, they're not back fully, most of them anyway. The pandemic has been doubly hard for downtown businesses. Please make an effort to visit and patronize places downtown on a weekly basis. Number 2, now more than ever is a time to support local businesses as much as possible. Not only COVID, but the Amazon effect has a great impact on our brick and mortar stores. Whenever possible, shop local so we can keep our neighbors employed, our small business economy moving, and generate sales tax dollars for the city services you want and deserve. Number 3, become actively engaged in our community through the Community Foundation's Land of Lincoln Next 10 initiative to resolve community challenges. The SSGA's Thrive Ally program to promote Springfield and Sangamon County, or through the city's ward plan meetings. Number 4, listen to one another, especially those with alternate viewpoints. Be respectful in disagreeable times and try to gain a true understanding of the other person's opinion to resolve issues and differences. And in my opinion, number 5 is the most important. Please be cognizant and respectful of everyone's well-being. Simply put, be kind to everyone. These 5 measures will help us grow stronger as a community post-pandemic. Always remember to make today better than yesterday and tomorrow better than today. And we will have faith in our future. Thank you, and may God bless each and every one of us, and I appreciate your attention. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor, for your remarks. I truly appreciate the efforts between the Mayor's office and the Chamber. A special thank you again to our presenting sponsor, Commercial Real Estate Network and the Capital Area Realtors. Thanks to our premier sponsors, Blue Cross Blue Shield, Comcast, and U.S. Bank, as well as our partner sponsors, Memorial Health and Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum. And thanks to all of our table sponsors that you can see on the programs. Once again, I truly appreciate everybody being here today and look forward to another great State of the City and maybe something else in 2023. Thank you very much.